Hello everyone, I am Bhumika. I am presently working as a legal intern under Lexis and Company, a law firm. I am from Reva University, Bangalore, pursuing BLLB Honors second year. So let us start off today's topic for the discussion. And today's topic for the discussion is, what are all the grounds on which you can apply for divorce under Hindu Marriage Act? So these are like the civil cases and they are dealt by the personal laws, right? So here we are discussing purely only of the Hindu Marriage Act, who and all got they married under Hindu Marriage Act. So for them, what are the grounds for which they can apply for divorce? We will be discussing that. And here also there are various reasons where they can, like, mutual consent might be there for divorce, and many more are there, but we will be purely discussing only about the faulty grounds where one spouse does some fault like that. So that time these reasons will be applicable. So the faulty grounds which are reasonable for the for getting divorce, we will be discussing that, and this is mentioned under section 13 clause 1 of the Hindu Marriage Act. Okay, so now let us start off. So the first ground is that one is adultery. So if any one spouse in that marital relationship, if they are having any other relationship, extramarital affairs with someone else, then that will be the main ground for seeking a divorce from the other spouse. And also adultery, like if they are having mere relationship also, like not only be a sexual relationship, only a relationship as well also, that can also come under this adultery under Hindu Marriage Act. Okay, so this, after this adultery, one more is cruelty. Under the grounds of cruelty also there can be it can be mentioned as the ground for divorce as well. Cruelty by any spouse, may it be women or may it be men as well in that marital relationship. And also when we move on to the next one is that after adultery and cruelty, next one is insanity. If one spouse is not able to take up the mental ability of the other spouse, when their mental capacity have been affected due to insanity as such, then that can also become the ground for divorce. Okay, and after adultery and cruelty and then insanity, and then one more is desertion. After marriage, if the spouse permanently leaves the spouse without informing them, if they are not staying together also, they can, if permanently deserting other spouse, then also they can claim for divorce. Okay, the divorce petition can be filed under these things. And then when we move on to the next faulty grounds, is that one will be the conversion. If one spouse converts to other religion or start practicing after converting to start practicing the other traditions of the other religion, and that is not acceptable to the other spouse in that marital relationship, then they can absolutely claim for divorce petition. And then when we move on to the next one is that presumption of death. If the one spouse is not seen for over for long 7 years as such, and then there is no news about their living, that time the other spouse can apply for divorce under this Hindu Marriage Act. And then other one is that renunciation from the world. Like if the other spouse renounce everything, the secular activities, renounce from the world, and then stays in isolation, like what we call it as sannyasatva, if they take that also, the other spouse can apply for divorce petition as such. So what are all the faulty grounds that we have discussed for filing petition under? These are the faulty grounds that are mentioned under section 13 of the Hindu Marriage Act. So these are all the faulty grounds. By this we can end our discussion for today. Thank you so much.